Hi, this is Michael Orrell from MobileBurn.com, and today I have with me the Motorola Droid 2 for Verizon Wireless. It's an Android 2.2 Froyo powered smartphone and is available now in stores for $199.99 with a 2-year contract. So here's the Droid 2's box. It's quite small. See, there's not much to it here. Let's open it up and see what's inside. Here's the phone. Set that aside and see what else comes in the package. As expected, micro USB to regular USB charging and data cable, and that plugs into the Motorola charger here or into your desktop computer or laptop computer. And we have Getting Started guide in English and Spanish, some consumer information, warranty information, and product safety information, and that is it. So here's the Droid itself. You see we've got the same 3.7-inch diagonal touchscreen display that's 480 by 854 pixels in resolution. Touch-sensitive buttons up front for search, back, home, and menu. On the left-hand edge, we've got the micro USB connector, little LED there for charging indication. Not too much to see on the bottom, just the microphone hole. Camera shutter button, and that's a dual stage button, so you press down a little bit to focus all the way to take the photo. Volume control. Also see the 3.5mm headphone port and the power lock button as well. Of course, you can slide open the device to reveal the 4-row QWERTY keyboard. You'll notice that there's a lack of a D-pad though. And you can also tell that in the front here is a kind of a gunmetal silver or a graphite color. The bottom here, on the other hand, is a kind of a blue metallic. Take a look at the back of the phone. You can see the 5-megapixel camera and the dual LED flash. See, it looks very much like the original. It's a soft touch coating, and you can even see there's still the gap between the battery cover and the rest of the phone. It's a large battery here. It's 1400 milliamp hours. Good for 9 hours of talk time or 13 days worth of standby time. If we pull out the battery here, we can access the micro SD card, 8 gig card included, and there's 8 gig of internal storage built into the phone, so you've got a 16 gig right off the bat. So here are the two phones. You can see they're quite similar in look and overall design. Subtle changes. You can see the chin here is different, and the configuration of the back panels is a little bit different, but overall everything's laid out very much the same. See bigger differences though when you go to the keyboards. The lack of a D-pad means you can have a much larger, more spacious keyboard than on the original Droid. So while there may not be too many obvious differences on the outside, internally the device is quite a bit different, at least in terms of processing power. While the original Droid had an ARM Cortex-A8 processor, which is a good platform, it only ran at 550 megahertz. This device, on the other hand, has a 1 gigahertz processor, and that equates to 14.2 MFLOPS on the Linpack test versus the 8.7 on the original Droid, and a Neo-Core 3D graphics score of 40.6 compared to the 24.4 of the original Droid. So there's a significant differences. It's still not as fast as the graphics performance on the Galaxy S devices from Samsung, but in terms of raw CPU performance, it totally outclasses them. So before we get into all the apps, let's go into the settings and just verify the firmware version we're running. See, it's Android 2.2. If we take a quick trip through the home screen, you can see it has a lot of the Moto Blur type widgets that we saw on the Droid X. Even though it's not listed as a Moto Blur device, Motorola has decided to step back from that brand and stop pushing the Moto Blur brand so much and instead focus on the functionality, which is probably a good idea. You can see the Motorola widgets are separately listed. There are a lot of them. And of course there are the stock Android widgets as well. Also see support for live wallpapers, I'm guessing. There's the new Droid live wallpaper. I'm quite fond of the new Motorola widgets, which are the same as what we've seen on the Droid X. I particularly like the way that they can be resized. Just long press on them and you can move them around anywhere you like, of course, but you can resize them to whatever seems appropriate to you. And you might have noticed as I was moving around that the little indicators pop up at the bottom of the screen. That allows you to directly jump to any of the 7 home screens. When the keyboard's slid open, you can use the home screen in the landscape orientation as well. Pull up the main menu. Very straightforward. Not too much to see. No configuration options. You can't create folders, tabs, or anything like that. It's just a straight alphabetic list. Like all recent versions of the Android OS, there are full speech-to-text capabilities for searching and navigation. Navigate to Dairy Queen in Morrisville. This will make use of Google Maps navigation, which is currently in beta, but is free.
Head northeast on Spruce Mill Drive toward Sheffield Drive. In 500 feet, turn left at Sheffield Drive.
I've pulled up the web browser with the mobile version of the mobileburn.com site. See, it's very quick and scrolling, works in landscape and portrait modes. And we'll pull up the full version of the site. We're coming across a Wi-Fi connection right now, so it should be pretty speedy. See, things are coming up already. The Motorola Droid 2 is the first smartphone on the market on any platform to support the non-beta version of Flash 10.1, so hopefully we'll get to demonstrate some of the Flash capability on this device. You can see everything renders quickly and properly. You can double tap to intelligently zoom in, get a better look at things. Multi-touch zooming, of course. This is the front page of the review we did for the new BlackBerry Torch, and I'm going to jump ahead to one of the pages with an embedded YouTube video just so we can see how it responds to that. Well, here's the video. You can see on prior devices we would have seen it load up the dedicated YouTube client, but this one should play right where it stands. You can see the performance seems pretty decent.
BlackBerry Torch 9800 is the first BlackBerry from RIM to feature the new OS 6 operating system. This one's available from AT&T for $199.
Not quite as smooth as you would see on a dedicated client, but it's still performing pretty well.
So here's the Torch.
You can, of course, still load it in the dedicated YouTube client. We'll take a look at it there to see if it
This is Michael
comes across a little bit smoother.
Today I have with me the BlackBerry Torch 9800. It's the first BlackBerry from RIM to feature the new OS 6 operating system.
I'm going to jump to the Adobe website here so we can see what Adobe says about the Flash support. This page should tell us what version of Flash is running, and obviously we're going to expect it to say 10.1. And there you see the Flash animation, and right here you can see it says we're running version 10.1. There you have it, finally real Flash on a mobile device. If we hit this button up here, we can go through the bookmarks, and you'll see it has a new system for bookmarks, a nice kind of cover flow like scrolling system. Also, just a list, most recently visited web pages. Assuming there's a way to switch to a list view, and of course there is. Now that we've received a text message, you can see the LED indicator there. Power up the device, unlock it, and you'll see the notification up here in the notification area. Tap on it to bring up the threaded SMS application. Nice and colorful, easy to read. Put a reply here. This is the multi-touch keyboard. Works pretty well. Personally though, I prefer swipe. And we can just send off a response. And naturally, the primary use would be the keyboard. Keyboard has a very similar feel to the original Droid with larger keys. They still have that same kind of matte finish to them, solid click. I grew to like the original Droid's keyboard, so I don't expect this to be any different.